Here is now. We are here. Today is the day, people.
Surge is working late.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right,
okay.
Remy. Today is the day. And we are the Godzilla Nerds, and we're back with a brand new episode of the Godzilla Nerds 1954 podcast. I am one of the hosts. I am Donald.
Nick.
DJ.
Remy.
Remy.
Donald.
Yeah, that's right. DJ.
Don.
No, DJ Zilla Train.
DJ
Oh man, and we're back with a brand new episode today. But we got two guests joining us. Obviously, my boy Adrian, known as Godzilla Train. He's a part of the Kaiju Collectors group, Kaiju Collectors YouTube channel. They're super awesome. They're super hilarious too. they're super awesome, man. And Godzilla Train also has a YouTube channel, Godzilla Train 1090, where he does a lot of his reviews. And those who hasn't been on this page or not subscribed to his page, he just did an awesome review on Violente, and it's like that thing is freaking humongous. Like the box was bigger than my kids. Like I'm not even playing; it was huge. So we're gonna bring in Adrian, our first guest.
Adrian, Godzilla
What's up, Kaiju family? What's going on?
Howdy.
We're glad you can be here, Adrian. And then we have another guest joining us, and he goes by the name of Nick Adam. He's got the coolest superhero name that we know. He also has a YouTube channel, and it's called The Monster Report. And I had the luxury of being a part of his podcast, and I also had the luxury to be a part of our podcast 2 weeks ago. And he just did an awesome review on the deferral. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but it's super duper awesome. It is the Light Up Rick, and it was really awesome. And he does it with his daughter as well. And so that's good to see that. And we're going to bring in our superhero. It is the Light Up Rick. And then
How we doing, guys?
Good to see that.
What up?
Good.
Hey, howdy,
Good.
Fap.
The hero. It is the Light Up Rick. And then
Good to be here today.
Full
How we
house.
doing, guys?
What up?
Hey, howdy, Fap.
Let's see. All right, there's Alex Allen. He is here.
Good to be here today.
Full
How we
house.
doing, guys?
Does somebody else hear it echoing?
Yeah, I hear echo.
Allen, he is here.
Good to be
Somebody
here.
having like a dual monitor on or something?
Yes, I hear
Somebody
the
else
echo.
hear it echoing?
Yeah, I hear echo.
Am I echoing?
Somebody having, like, yeah, someone's echoing.
Someone's echoing.
Who is echoing?
It's the one that just muted himself.
Did that help?
Hold on
Yes.
a second.
That's much better.
Okay,
Yeah, that worked.
Oh,
I
man,
figured
thought
it out. Sorry,
Alright.
my fault. It's the new guy's fault.
Hey, Nick, you're a superhero. We understand some things are in your control, you know.
Rookie mistake, I see.
I actually know what it was. That last week, Don, you were on that chat for August, and I had to bring him in using my phone. Apparently, I left that channel still live, so you were hearing me through both my phone and the microphone. So that was my fault. I figured it out.
Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't believe that we could get August on there through the phone. He was having all kinds of computer issues, and I'm like, "Well, call me, and I'll figure out if I can get your phone piped through this mixing board." And I'm like, "I know it could do that. I hope I could figure it out." And I did it on the fly, and it worked. It was like, I can't believe it. Technology actually worked for once.
Yeah. and what was crazy was we could hear him perfectly. Like we heard him perfectly clear.
I
So
know
that
it was.
that was awesome.
That was awesome. So I was glad. August is awesome, man. If you ever get the chance to talk to him, but he'll talk your ear off, and you'll never get a word in edgewise.
I've got a friend like that.
But he knows his stuff. He's the man. He wrote the book.
Yeah. Oh man, DJ, you would have enjoyed it. It's about Ultraman too. You would have enjoyed it.
Shin Ultraman.
Yep.
Oh.
Wait, who has seen
Cool.
Shin Ultraman?
Exactly.
What's going on, Alex?
Well,
Let them
All
fight.
right.
let
so
them
here
fight.
we go.
Yes.
We are we're discussing Rampage today. This was actually my first time watching the film, so I had not seen this movie before. So it is a fresh review for me, and what other way would I, rather have it with you guys? So I know it's going to be hilarious, funny, very knowledgeable, and I appreciate you guys being on, especially you, Adrian, especially you, Nick, to have you guys a part of this specific stream. Okay, Nick, I got you, Nick talking to me like I'm George. You seen him?
No, I was talking to Adam. I was talking to Adam. He's like, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I was like,
I
okay.
saw Adam too.
Don't do that to me.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Oh man, I got you, Nick. I got you. But yeah, man, this was an awesome movie for me, and I thought that I was able to get into the movie right away. And I'll see you, Remy.
I was trying to say how long
You might have just sworn at all of our audience.
I might have. I'm sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if I did.
So we have. I guess we pretty much have an order. We'll start with you, DJ, Remy, and then when Nick comes, we'll go to him, Adrian, then Nick. We will come to you. So, but let's go ahead and start, man. Let's go ahead and start. DJ, I'm coming to you first. How did you feel about the pacing of this film and the story of this film? Was this movie easy for you to follow? Were there questions that you had about the film that weren't answered? How do you feel about the pacing and the story that was incorporated in this film?
I thought that they did a pretty decent job with it. It was pretty easy to follow along. They gave the exposition that was needed for, what was going on with the creatures and stuff. And, it's all things considered, I felt that the storyline was pretty good, considering that it's based off of an old arcade game that was just literally some people that got transformed into giant monsters, smashed cities, and the military was always fighting them.
Yeah, that's about it.
So,
yeah, it's a story.
Yeah. So to make it where it was just, the animals were mutating because of, a special experiment and whatnot. And then getting one of them connected to the humans to, make it where it wasn't just like, all the monsters are just going to tear up the whole world kind of thing. Was pretty nice. And I thought the interactions between George and The Rock were pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I thought they did a pretty good job with the pacing of the film. I thought the story, it was perfect for this kind of film. And I love the fact right off the beginning, we see the relationship that's already established between The Rock's character, Mr. Okoye, and George. So that really got me into it. And we did get that backstory because I was wondering how their relationship started. So right off the bat, I was really, really invested in the film, especially, how concerned The Rock was, not only for George, but for the other animals around him. And so that really captivated my attention. But like you said, DJ, I thought the pacing was great and the story was good for this particular film. And I thought it was a good balance between the characters and a good balance between the monster as well. So that's what I really enjoyed about this film, and it got me into it. And it was a pretty great film. Remy, I'll come to you. Now, of course, I asked you the same thing. How did you feel about the story and the pacing of this particular film?
I actually enjoyed the pacing of this movie. I feel like it's not that long of a movie itself, so I feel like they were able to cram in or enough where it didn't feel like too bogged down or there was too much filler in it, because it was like from plot, like here's the first act, second act, third act, like pretty continuously. They didn't really hold on for an act for like one scene like too long. They held it long enough for you like to get the right emotion down, and then they move on to the next scene. And it didn't really feel like they were rushing the entire time. I feel like it was a good pace at least. And with the story, I do like the story that they went with, because like DJ said in the original. Nick, don't look at me like that. I didn't mean to say. Okay, I just meant said. Okay? You were cussing way before the podcast. Got it. Anyway, but what I meant to say was that when DJ said about Rampage, the game, is that the storyline is like very limited. It's just giant monsters come, destroy buildings, turn back into humans, military shows up. That's literally it. So for them, they literally could build off anything from the game, and I think people would be fine with it because people already knew from the game. They were like, oh, there's not much story, so for them to build off just like a tiny bit more with it and add more of like I guess semi-realistic and like addition to it with the CRISPR technology. I thought it was a good way to like kind of bring it into the real world while not bogging it down too much in reality and still having fun with the fantasy and like sci-fi element to the movie. So I thought it was good.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is Doris. We love you too. I'm hoping I'm talking to Doris, but I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say this.
Well, whoever it is, we love you too.
Yeah, we love you too.
Okay.
Love you too, Doris.
If you are Doris.
It is.
Yeah,
It is Doris.
If Doris, it is Doris.
Yeah, I made sure.
Nick, what about you? How did you feel about the
Which Nick though?
Yeah. I know.
Nick Adams,
I got this. I got
superhero Nick, superhero Nick. Oh man. So Nick, you're Nick for today, and Nick Zilla, that's you.
We'll call Nick Zilla Peg Leg today.
All right. Okay. All right.
No, it's Peg Leg.
He's Nick Castle. Nick Castle, right?
Oh, that's so bad. That's all.
Okay, here we go. Whew, okay. Oh man, I got everybody on the stream. This is all right. How did you feel about the story and the pacing of this film, Mr. Nick?
Mr. Nick.
Adam.
Okay, gotcha. That helps. Yeah. Why have these little name boxes if we're not going to use them, right? So yeah, I like oh, look at this. I got a guest. So say hi to everyone. Yeah. This is Evelyn, and I guess he got away from the living room where we were watching cartoons. So
hey, Evelyn.
Yeah, say hi. You want to go back to the cartoons now? Yeah, you wanted to come in and say hi. You were talking about pacing. Yeah, so when I came in and pacing's interesting because this is definitely a high energy movie, and it had the vibes of Doom, which is also a rock starring movie and a video game movie. So it had that real fast pace, not a lot of time to take a breath kind of movement to it. And it's kind of pacing that to me is very exhausting. Honestly, it's like the Transformers films. I thought those were ones where everyone's running constantly in danger, and there's no chance to take a breath and be like, okay, where are we, guys? You okay? Y'all good? We didn't ever really get that. No, we didn't. We didn't get it. It was like running all the time. So anyways, not bad, but it was kind of what was to be expected from a big high action video game movie. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Mom throws in the house.
I'm here. My immunities are down, so I'm sick and I sound horrible. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
No, it's okay.
You're here.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Your presence is what matters.
Mothra's going through another life cycle. Sorry.
Gonna be entering the cocoon.
Oh my goodness! Who is the peanut?
Say hi.
That's Evelyn.
Evelyn. Yep. Wave hi. Can you say hi to her? Wave hi to her. Wave hi.
Oh, now she's shy.
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
Or not, it's fine.
Yeah, there you go. I want to see if I can't take care of her and be back in a few.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, my man Adrian, I'm coming to you, brother. How did you feel about the story and the pacing of this film?
So the pacing definitely didn't bother me. I mean, like kind of like Mr. Adams said, it was pretty fast paced. You really didn't have a second to take a breath and like, oh, okay, is everybody good? What's going on? It was kind of if you blinked, you missed something. As far as the story, it wasn't what I expected, honestly. And I mean, of course, anyone who played Rampage back in the day, like we said, it like DJ said earlier, it was humans that got mutated into monsters. So I was kind of expecting them to keep that same aspect. I wasn't expecting them to go with the whole animal aspect of it, but I mean, it was okay. It was okay for what it was. I enjoyed it.
Okay, pretty good answer. What about you, Punisher? Since you're not Nick today, you're the Punisher.
Well, yes, we gotta establish that.
How do you feel about the story and the pacing of the Rampage film?
When I first saw it, I thought it was very awesome. Didn't know it was based off of a game though. I had no clue about that.
I mean,
Don't look at me like that, DJ.
I'll judge all I want.
I had no idea, but the pacing and everything, I thought it was pretty good. You know, I was confused in the beginning on what was going on when the whole asteroid field going on. So I rewinded. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. It was a mutated rat aboard, and she was saving whatever those containers were. Those are pretty big containers.
Yeah, they were.
For just a little of a spray.
They were flying like shooting stars.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, pretty much. But I thought the pacing was very well done on this part. You know, it was a little better than, honestly, I like Doom, but it was better than Doom's. Doom felt a little too rushed.
Yeah.
It was this was a little more better.
Okay. All
That's
right.
so Jersey of you. Mo better. So Jersey of you. Mo better.
I'm coming to you, Doris. How did you feel about the pacing and the story of Rampage?
I loved Rampage. It was kind of a cross between, for me, I mean, I've seen it a million times, so it's like, sorry, my life right now is like poetic chaos, but I've seen it enough to follow. So Rampage to me was like smack dab in the middle of a B-rate Godzilla and Sharknado.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like right there in the middle.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
comparison.
Lord. She said
That's pretty accurate.
Okay, am I wrong? Okay, tell me I'm wrong. It's not as dumb as Sharknado, which I love Sharknado, but it wasn't as great as like some of the Godzilla movies that you're looking and you're going, I'm a fan of this. Why? No, you know, so yeah, no, I loved it. The pacing to me was really good on it. And this is going to sound really girly. Sorry. And there's even guys out there. It was The Rock. You could have turned the sound off. Who cares? It was The Rock and big giant animals. What more could you want?
Oh man. Let's see. Alex Allen said Rampage 2018 was a cool movie. It was. This was my first time seeing it. It was
Better than Pacific Rim Uprising, that's for sure. Between the two monster movies that came out that year, I was like, watch, Rampage is going to be the better monster movie. And it was.
I think it was great. And the way they portrayed the communication skills with the sign language and everything, I thought it was actually really well done for trying to adapt a kaiju movie into modern day using what we already know with like Coco the gorilla who knew sign language and stuff. I thought it was great.
Yeah. It was definitely great. And like I said, my first time watching it, that's what pulled me in, because the beginning of the film, maybe the first 10, 15 minutes, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I could tell it was going to be good then. So I really got into it. DJ, this is question 2. This is for you. Describe Dwayne Johnson's character, Mr. Okoye, in this film as far as he thinks and as far as he acts. What did you like about his character in this film? What personality traits or qualities did you like about him?
Well, he's definitely consistent. Like, he established himself as being of a certain mindset and a certain character type, and he kept through it. And like he did have a little bit of evolution himself through the movie, and but it wasn't out of nowhere. Like it was understandable for like how he felt towards some of the other people that the agent and the female scientist by the end of the movie. So I thought they did a pretty good job with him. Showing his genuine concern for George and animals in general, and and maintaining that protective role for George. That in the backstory you find out, is how they met. Like he rescued him from poachers, and so, so he's got that established like father protector kind of mentality with regards to him, and I thought he did a good job with portraying that throughout the whole movie, and so.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. And what's crazy is he actually had a compassionate side without him knowing he had a compassionate side. It just wasn't with the humans. It was with George. So he had that side, and he had the ability to show that side. But because of what he had been through with his backstory, and even George's backstory, which played a very effective role in who he was in this film. I do think he had a very protective side about him. He had a compassionate side about him, and he wanted to work alone, and so he didn't trust anybody. And like you said, DJ, you touched on it. He had an evolution period throughout the movie, especially when Dr. Caldwell brought it to his attention. Hey, George went through what he went through, but he still trusts you. So it made him kind of rethink his psyche on that. And I thought that was really, 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 really cool. What about you, Remy? Describe Dwayne Johnson's character in this film as far as, how he thinks, how he acts, or the emotional side of him. What did you see from him in this film?
Again, going off of on DJ's points, I agree a lot with that because, yeah, Okoye in this, Davis Okoye or The Rock in this movie really portrays that kind of like animal compassionate, like animal lover that like really kind of speaks to me because I am myself, I'm a big fan of animals too. And so to see that portrayed from The Rock is not really a side we see him in a lot of movies. He's always like the hard boiled kind of like military guy. And so for him to actually have that very compassionate side towards animals, especially George in this movie, it was a really good character trait that I liked. And I did kind of like the evolution from him thinking that every human is terrible, and then at the very end realizing that, yeah, we have our faults, but at the same time, there's some good people out there in this world that are willing to change, like what he saw with Dr. Coldwell. Like she was like one of the, like I feel like it helped her. She was like one of the stepping stones to help him in his character development. And I did like a lot of his comedic timing too. And a lot of
You're gonna get that a lot.
Especially when he was like chokeholding that one guy. He's like, it's a big arm. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. And
yeah.
Drop him to the floor. I like that. So yeah, no, I really liked Okoye, and I really liked his transformation in this movie. And and again, it's The Rock. He's a very charismatic guy, so he carries a lot of this movie on his shoulders. Plus, it's giant monsters, so they kind of love it. They kind of alleviate some of the stress off of him.
You sound like me, Remy. It's The Rock and giant monsters. Turn the sound
off. If you would have saw the trailer, I was like, it's The Rock and giant monsters. What else can I ask for?
Yeah.
Battleship.
Yeah, Battleship. Another option. Oh my God, Liam Neeson shows up at Rampage.
I'm reading the
Bruce
comments.
Campbell.
And Kyle, you are correct. Kyle wrote, from what I heard, Rampage was based on the video game of the same name, and he is correct. It was an adaptation. That's what actually made me think of Battleship that we reviewed a couple weeks ago, because they were making adaptations. So, but I thought I'm going to add my 2 cents, and forgive me if you already covered this, but the fact that the gorilla's name was George kind of made me laugh. Does anybody else know why they named the gorilla George?
I don't know why. This is my first time seeing the film, so
You don't have to know the film.
because it's the name from the video game, right?
George,
Yeah.
George of the Jungle.
Oh, wow!
Come
why
on,
did I
that was a little obvious.
No. Wow.
That was a little obvious.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like, I didn't want to embarrass myself and guess and then get it wrong.
And then, of course, there was also the correlation with Curious George, the monkey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Curious George.
Okay. Oh god.
Did you know that Weird Al did the
nice
original?
song.
Weird Al Yankovic did the original theme song for the George of the Jungle cartoon.
Oh, it did.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's on one of
very
his
good.
first albums.
Weird Al is an amazing human.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right, Nick Adam, you are back to join us. And so,
Sorry about that.
No, you're okay.
No,
good.
no.
Calls once in a while. It's no big deal.
No, it's got to take care of the little ones first.
Mm.
Describe Dwayne the Johnson's character, Mr. Okoye, in this film, based off of how he acts and how he thinks. Like, what personality traits did you like about him in this film?
Which character? Sorry.
Dwayne Johnson's character.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. I always think of it's a movie with The Rock, so that's The Rock playing this character, The Rock playing that character.
I mean, he's not wrong. That's how I think about it too. Most of the time, I'm like, so The Rock playing this character, right?
I'm sorry, there was other things in this movie. What?
That's right.
Wait, there were monsters in this movie? What?
And it's like I thought of all the characters, I thought he was the one who obviously you related to best. I think he also was the best actor. I know that it's probably a little sacrilege calling a wrestler an actor, but then again, so is wrestling. It's acting. It's
John Cena.
He a trash can.
I love John Cena.
He was pretty
Donald
good.
Trump.
He was pretty good in
Trash
Fast
can.
9.
What out?
He was good in Fast 9.
Didn't see Fast 9, but these guys actually, some of them.
Peacemaker or the Suicide Squad. Have you
Yup,
seen that one?
Peacemaker.
He's good in that one.
Stop it.
And we're back.
Stop
Really
it.
back.
Get some help.
I liked his character. I think, I didn't really buy how he was an expert in everything. He was the primate expert. He was the military guy. He just knows everything. And
he was Mark
Rock,
Russell
of
before
course
Mark
he
Russell.
does.
he was who?
So what?
He
He's
was
the
Mark
Rock.
Russell before Mark Russell.
Okay,
So
yeah,
what's your,
I get you.
So what
That's
you're
true.
saying is that so you're confirming every girl's suspicion that if they're eye candy, they can't have brains, and if they have brains, they can't be eye candy.
Typically, I would say John Cena falls into that category. The Rock, actually, I could say he's a good actor. I'll say that, and he's also got a great
really
voice. And when he does voice acting,
You're
he's-
welcome.
He's
Yeah,
excellent.
and
Yeah,
more.
he could sing. He could do what classic actors always did. Did their, they would do their stunts. They would either, I don't know if The Rock rides a horse, but it seemed like actors could always used to be able to ride horses and do their own sword work or things like that. It seems like The Rock can do a lot of that on his own, beyond the fact that any stuntman is going to have to be as big as him anyways. So, but the man can act. I will give him that. But some of the other characters, how he contrasts with them, I don't buy it. I don't buy that gal was a geneticist, a scientist, and all that. I'm sorry, just because you had books lying around, I didn't buy it. There's a lot I could say about this movie because I was just watching it a couple of times. I was like, they think that we're stupid because they're trying to explain things, and it's like, we should know this. Show don't tell. It's a movie, but if you have to tell us, if you have to force feed us this, I have problems with it. But I also go back to the video game days too. So this was a NES classic, an arcade classic as well. The NES did not have the wolf, though. It did not have Ralph the Wolf, but it did have Lizzie and
right.
George. The arcade
Lizzie was
and
great.
the arcade and the Sega I believe console had had all 3 characters that you could be. And Lizzie always played Lizzie in the NES game because he's the closest thing we got to Godzilla.
Yep.
We have a Rampage hater in our midst, though.
The film, yes, the film. It's not one of my favorites. Sorry, guys. I'll be the dissenting voice in on this one. I'm sorry. I just did not.
Oh, so you're going to be Surge for tonight.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Nick's bringing balance. That's
That
great.
guy.
That is good. What about you, Godzilla Train? Describe Dwayne Johnson's character in this film. What did you think about him in this film?
I mean, like y'all said, he was The Rock. It's like every other movie The Rock is in. I mean, yeah, he did have some nice moments with George, especially when he thought George was dead, and that whole scene there, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But yeah, I like The Rock. I always thought he was a pretty good actor. He has more range than people give him credit for. And in this movie, he did a pretty good job. He did better in this than he did in Doom. So, I'm all right with that.
All right, Punisher. Describe Dwayne Johnson's character in this film.
It's almost the same in every other film, just more modified, better.
She doesn't want it.
Pretty much, that's all you can say. Like, yes, I agree with Godzilla Train. His acting in Doom was just... It's a classic. Semper Fi, really? You can come up with anything else? Up until now, where, like, he's actually doing the sign languages with George. He's got a sense of humor. You know, the whole scene in the beginning where they go to fist bump and he does the whole
Middle finger.
It was good. I think this, I'm not going to say was his best acting because we don't know what any other films hold that is his best acting yet. To me, it's Fast and Furious. He had the best acting in there.
He was good in that. It was also fun. The movie Too Cool.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Walking Tall.
Right now.
Walking Tall was a good one too.
That's probably one of my favorites of The Rock.
Walking Tall, that's a good one. I like Walking.
I like The Rundown also.
Yeah, The Rundown's good.
Also good.
That was a good one. That was a good one too.
Good. Also,
watching him progress from there to now.
I thought he was all right in that one.
Which one?
Hobbs and Shaw. The
spin-off
Yeah,
of Fast and Furious. Yeah.
I thought he was all right in that movie.
Well, they need to put us in some movies. They playing around. I can do sign language.
How far, I was going to ask, far back with The Rock, earliest acting stuff, what do you guys have on The Rock? Because I think I may have one of the earliest sightings of The Rock early on.
The Mummy 2.
Mummy 2.
Yeah, the
Mummy 2?
Right?
Mummy 2.
Scorpion King.
Go further back. Just a little bit. A non-speaking role. Star Trek Voyager. He actually fought.
Star Trek Voyager, yes!
He fought.
Wait. I have to come back here.
He had a non-speaking role where he was a fighter in Arena with 7 of 9 fighting with her.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so
I did not know that.
I didn't even know about that. Wow.
that's prior to the Scorpion King or
Okay, that's
Mummy 2,
fandom
yeah.
number 2 is Trek. So yeah.
yeah, Star Trek, yes. Classic Trek, not the new stuff. I don't really care for the new stuff. I like the classic stuff. Okay, yeah.
That curio he's in front of has the communicator, the phaser, the chessboard, blood wine, Klingon Kinar.
Wow.
Clock, it's everything. Yeah.
Romulan ale?
Yes. As a matter
You
of
know
fact, it does.
it's illegal.
I live near Tennessee. Shh.
Just make your own.
Give me the Kinar.
Cardassian drink.
We're switching gears here. But
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to open that can. Or that bottle. That is Canard.
yeah,
The Gold Ducat.
Wow.
That's the Gold Ducat special there.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Well, oh,
There.
Blood wine.
My
yes,
God.
it is.
Today is
Unopened bottles.
today is a good day to dine
Dine. Yes, don't say die. It's
No,
been
dine.
enough of that.
with a
Yeah.
nice blood wine.
Nice. That-
Okay. Anyway, back to kaiju. Sorry,
Yeah.
you squirreled me.
I was so into the conversation. I was just stuck. Y'all
Yeah.
have at it. I believe it's your turn, Doris. Yes, describe Dwayne Johnson's character in this film. What did you like about his personality in this particular film?
Oh, well, you know, when it comes to it, I mean, I'm not going to go, sorry, I'm not going to go feminist on this and say, duh, it's The Rock. As far as his character is concerned, I actually liked, I read a little bit on it. And I mean, the sign language was real. My mother took and taught sign language. So I was actually, I joke around about turning the sound off. I can actually follow it. It was real. He studied this. He knew the motion. So I actually like that they took the brawn that everybody is like, and they gave him brains.
Mm-hmm.
They gave
Yeah,
him
that's
brains.
awesome.
And they, like you said, they gave him a little empathy with the animals, especially with George. So it made him more personable.
Yeah, it did.
It made
did.
him very much more personable. He wasn't just, you know, like I used the term eye candy. He wasn't. He had brains. And for a minute there, a couple times, you're like, whoa, you know, and for somebody that knows minor sign language, you know, I was sitting there going, okay, he did that right. You know, he signed that right. It was the right height, the right, you know, so to give him intelligence, I hate to say it that way, but for the longest time, he was just all brawn. They gave him brains and it transformed him a little bit for me.
Wow, that's a really, really good answer. Yeah, that was awesome. And you see that at the beginning of the movie because that's what pulled me into the film, like sucked me in. So I knew I would enjoy it, knowing that they're having the relationship that they have was pretty good. And it was good to see The Rock play this kind of role because, like you said, Adrian, he does have range that that he doesn't get the credit for. And that's probably why he's one of the highest paid actors now. Definitely could use some of his money with the inflation. So,
Right.
So that would be really, really good. But that was an awesome answer, Doris. Question 3. We see 3 kaiju in this film. There's 2 questions. We see 3 kaiju in this film. DJ, for one, who was your favorite kaiju in this film, and describe the other 2 kaiju that you saw in this film, whether you liked them or not, from their designs, how they were moving. So talk to me a little bit about the kaiju in this film.
I think obviously George stands out the most just because of the fact that he's the one that interacts with the humans. He's the one talking with them, helping them out and everything. And we get to see the most growth for him. We get to see his development and everything throughout the movie. So I really enjoyed his character. The other 2, the wolf and the giant crocodile, Lizzie and Ralph. Like Ralph was or Lizzie was pretty interesting because like you only get to see at the very beginning, you get just to see the mouth snap up and grab the canister, and then like that's it. And then we don't really get to see what it is until it finally reaches Chicago and pops out and everything. The wolf, we had that kind of that in between, like not every step of the way like we saw with George, but not a complete mystery like with Lizzie. So it was pretty cool, and the fact that they had made it where it could glide gave it the flying.
It
squirrel
flies.
Yeah.
That tripped me out when he slung him and he turned around and flew. He was like, "Of course it flies."
It's funny though, 'cause Ralph kind of looks like Varen though. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Ralph kind of looks like Varen when he flies. I literally thought of Varen when he started flying. I'm like, that's Varen. That's
A heavier version.
Yes, right there. They got him pulled it out. There we go, Varen.
And he even had the spikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He had spines.
I totally forgot about that.
So I thought like Ralph's abilities were pretty interesting because, like, you know, when you compare it to the video game, was just on par with like George and stuff, just punching everything and whatnot. So I thought it was pretty interesting that he had the spines and was actually able to shoot him kind of like a porcupine. And then, like we said, the flying and everything. So that was pretty cool. And then just the sheer size and capabilities of Liz was pretty cool. So,
Okay.
so yeah.
Pretty good answer. George definitely is the one that sticks out to me for the same reason you said, DJ, because he's the one that's interacting with the humans, and you also feel a part of him when he does have these interactions, and you kind of feel for him because of what he's going through. Getting poisoned, going through the dramatic change. Because he normally doesn't act like this. And so I was able to, feel that connection. And something that you touched on as well, Doris, that communication part really made me feel connected to him when they were, especially when he was flicking the rock off. that was cool. And they gave him a personality. So it wasn't all like, serious between them. Like they played, they joked, they laughed together. Especially when he flicked them off towards the end of the film, he did it again.
When he comes back,
yeah. And he told the Rock he looked like crap.
When the Rock introduces him to the chick, and he goes, "I was rolling."
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that was awesome. Remy, what about you? Tell me who your favorite kaiju was in this film and why. And also talk to me about the two other kaiju, Lindsay and Ralph, that we see in this film. What did you like about the kaiju in this film?
Yeah. Well, from my favorite, surprisingly, actually, is Lizzie. From the trailer, the first trailer, like years ago, that was the one I was most excited for because we saw Ralph and we saw what George looked like, but we didn't really get a clear picture of what Lizzie looked like. And I was like, "Ooh, what does Lizzie look like?" And because the fact that she is a crocodile and she is kind of like a diet Godzilla in the game, so that's why I really like her the most. So when Lizzie appeared in this movie, I was like, "Oh, this looks cool," because it's, to me, out of all three of them, she has the most like cool design out of them, just by how like mutated she became with like the club tail, all the spikes on her back, kind of like the webbed feet on her, the jagged teeth. And my favorite part about her design is actually the tusks that they gave her. Those kind of made her look like Biollante in a sense.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Stole my thunder on that one.
Yeah, and really, honestly, if you want to look at it, if you're like looking at it closely, she kind of looks like the MonsterVerse's interpretation of Anguirus in some sort of sense.
Yep.
She kind of.
I thought you were going to steal my thunder twice there, Remy.
She kind of looks like him a little bit. On a matter of the other two, I like Ralph and George a lot. George was really good. I really liked his character. I like how they gave him personality, and I do like the fact that they made one of the monsters actually a good guy. Because to me, seeing monsters destroy stuff is cool, but it's also really cool seeing a monster that's actually willing to stand up to other monsters and take them down. So I really like that. And Ralph honestly was actually the most terrifying out of three of them, just because that one scene where you have them taking out those guys one by one, and just like just how slaughtered they get in like a matter of seconds. And I really did like a lot of his powers, his flight, and the quills on his back, and the way that he could shoot it out like a porcupine. So I enjoyed a lot of that. So to me, my favorite is Lizzie out of all three of them.
Yeah, with Ralph, it definitely doesn't help when choppers are flying, where this can jump and grab you and snatch you out the air.
Oh yeah, that was
crazy. Even with Lizzie going up the building, I thought to myself, I'm like, Anguirus, I love the way that they shaped her, and not only that, it was a cool interaction that The Rock and George had when George let out his roar and then Lizzie let out her roar. They
both went, oh no,
yeah,
Mine's bigger
so,
than yours.
they both backed up. They're like, oh, we messed up.
oh man, yeah. So that was cool, but yeah, all the monsters that was created in this film had a nice design, and they all weren't the same. You can tell them apart. They had different abilities, and they did a great job disguising Lizzie, because I forgot about her until she actually got crawled up on land. And when she flipped that boat over, I'm like, oh, they gone. That's a bad way to go. That's a terrible way to go. Like, that is a bad way to go, and so I don't want to go like that. I pray I need a peaceful. Yeah.
You don't like flying. You don't like boats. You like to be nice and inland, don't you?
I like to eat. Give me that. I like to eat. I just thought. I guess I just think about it in my head so much. Like wow,
and you would not like to get eaten. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's right. There you go, Remy. I definitely like.
But if you're gonna go in style, man.
No.
Forget Doris. What?
Go out in peace.
No.
I'm going out in peace. I ain't going out in
Doris
style.
is really trying to get me out there.
Okay, if you're behind a hungry grizzly, you only have to go as fast as the guy in back of you. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a pretty good runner. I'm a pretty good sprinter, so I think I could use my speed to my advantage. But I don't want that to even be a scenario. Like, I don't want to be calling my wife or my kids and saying, "Look, I'm getting chased by 100 grizzly bears." I don't want that. Like, that's terrible. That is terrible. Nick, Adam, we have 3 kaiju in this film. 1, tell us who's your favorite, and for 2, tell us about all the kaiju. Like, how did you feel about them in this film, from their designs, their personalities? What did you like about these kaiju?
Sure. Favorite is you got to have a great kaiju reveal, and the best reveal was Lizzie. I mean, it's just hands down. And it built up to that point where you finally did get to see Lizzie jumping out of the river in Chicago, and Chicago's a city that's at least some of us have probably visited if you went to G-Fest ever, but no big deal. It's actually very close to me, so I've been there a few times, and yeah, so it's got some familiarity to it, and it's like so Lizzie, yeah, really, and Lizzie was the character I played in the game, so Lizzie was always going to be interesting how they were going to design her, and I'm glad they didn't try to rip off at least a Godzilla design, an upright, standing on 2 legs design, climbing the buildings. Lizzie doesn't do that. The other 2 do, and that's fine. They take it down. And I mean, and that's part of the game. That is part of the game. The building collapses are part of it. You can destroy the buildings to the point where they will do a collapse, and you can be on them and quickly either jump off to another building, or your monster, that's on the side of it or on top of it's going to have an expression on their face like, and they're going to fall and lose energy as a part of that, too. So, anyways, so yeah, Lizzie just, but there was so much though to Lizzie. Lizzie had the tusks, the spikes, the spines, the tail, the gills. I mean, everything. It seemed like anything I can throw into a lizard-like monster, they did that. You had, of course, Ralph with, the flaps, the fins, I guess you could say, to do his Varan flying and all of that. So that was cool. Not really something I think of as a wolf, but I guess this is a mutation, so anything goes. Same thing with spine. So that made it a little different, an interesting, new weapon other than just jumping and biting things. That's a cool new way of bringing it in. And George is just great. And you get a different design in George, too, being an albino rather than just what we would think of as a normal gorilla. And it wouldn't be a ripoff of King Kong if we went with a rare albino gorilla. So that was an interesting change that they decided to go with. It gives you some sort of connection with the idea of poachers and people like that hunting the rare. And I'll
You're
just
running out
end.
of blessings.
Bless you. And I'll just end with this. How many times did George bump The Rock? Because literally he's bumping The Rock. I mean, so I lost count of how many times.
No.
I think he probably flicked him off more.
He probably, yeah.
I think so too.
So
man.
that's all I could think of with George. Anyways, it was great. Yeah, the kaiju were great.
Yeah, that was an awesome answer, Nick. That was pretty good. What about you, Adrian? Talk to us about your favorite kaiju in this film, and even all three of the kaiju. What did you like about them, from their personality, from the way that they were acting in this film? What you got for us?
I'm on the same side as Nick. I always played with either Lizzie or George growing up. So when I saw Lizzie, especially Lizzie's reveal, it was very interesting because, like y'all said earlier, you kind of forget about her for a second, and then all of a sudden you just see that wave and like, oh, I forgot about you.
Oh, right. Oh, you're in this movie? Oh, okay.
And
Sure.
Just knocked that boat over, and then she just caused havoc after that. And I mean, realistically, Lizzie probably should have killed George, to be honest. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
whatever. Of course, they had
It's
to let the hero
it's a
win,
movie.
obviously. So I let that go. But I personally love Lizzie. I do like how they had George as an albino gorilla, because that's not something we see too often. They didn't just go over regular black gorilla or brown gorilla like King Kong. It was different seeing an albino gorilla, and I think it really played into George's character a little bit more as well. And Ralph was actually absolutely awesome as well. Wolves don't fly, but I mean, like Nick said, it was a mutation, so we had to let it go. And but probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Ralph is going after a helicopter. That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'll give Ralph points for that. So that's why I'm not mad about the flying part.
He snatched a few of them helicopters.
He did.
Oh, how he grabbed that one helicopter and just like slammed it down on the branch. I was like, they're like, just grabs it. Like,
what about you? What about you? When you Punisher, we're back to you, Nick. So,
Mr. Castle.
who is?
Funny, every time I pull up to Dunkin' Donuts, he's like, "What up, Frank?" I'm like, "Jesus Christ!"
Oh wow!
Because the hood of my car has the Punisher symbol on it.
Hey, I got the Green Lantern. Everybody knows me as the Lantern, so.
Oh wow! Okay, Green Lantern and Frank. So you're Frank. You gonna be you. Nick, Adam, you gonna be Nick, and Nick, you gonna be Punisher. Well,
I'm Jessica Cruz.
Okay. Okay. So we got Jessica Cruz, Nick, Adam, and then we got Frank. Frank. All right. So Frank, we got 3 kaiju.
Frank.
We have it's correct, Frank. So we got 3 kaiju in this film. So tell us who's your favorite, and tell us about the other kaiju that we see in this film, and what you like about them as far as personality wise and what they did in the film.
So when I saw the trailer, honestly, my eye was mainly focused on the wolf. I actually liked the wolf. The wolf was hands down my favorite. Like, it flew, it had spikes, it knew how to use the spikes, it knew how to use the flying ability, and it knew
how to eat too.
It knew how to quickly pick off one by one. Even though they were all huddled together, it still picked them off one by one.
Yep.
And had the balls to go one-on-one with the last guy, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat you. Get ready.
Yep. No, I love how he just like is standing right beside him.
Right next to him, strolling.
He's like, "Hey, your dinner. Get ready."
I'm like, dude, you're dead.
Dang, brother, get your all in my face with your breath. If you don't eat me, go and do it. Yeah, I don't need to smell your breath before I die.
And as far as the other two,
Jason Lyles, who played King Ghidorah's Middlehead, played the motion capture of Jordan.
I've never seen that behind the scenes.
Mm-mm.
And he played Itchy.
As far as the other two, George and the alligator, honestly, like everybody said, I forgot the alligator was there. I completely forgot. After the beginning and it ate the canister, I never saw it again. Until
Say
like
hello to my
that
stepson.
what?
Weekend. It's my podcast.
Oh, I look like crap.
He's just like talking away, and I'm like,
what's up? What?
well,
like
okay
crap.
now,
I'm
okay
busy.
now.
Yeah, I seen a piece of your hair.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did too. When the alligator first appeared, I was like, "Why?" I'm like, now we got two small ones compared to the alligator. The alligator was bigger than both of them,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Lizard
he has
was
a weight
huge.
to him.
and
I think it
then
was because she ate the entire canister.
no, she ate everything.
As I said, the entire
She ate
canister.
everything.
Yeah, and she ate everything afterwards, but she ate the canister whole when she got it. So I think she was
So
more.
much I could say right there, and I won't.
That's not Doris.
Or keep it PG.
Welcome back, Doris.
And as far as George had like that human communication. Like Remy said, it's always nice to have that one good guy
Yeah.
other than The Rock.
Yeah.
You have that one good kaiju that wants to stand up and fight. Granted, The Rock did more work because he had the wolf fly into the alligator's mouth.
Yep.
Was not expecting that one. Was not expecting the head to get ripped off either. That caught me off guard. The most one that caught me off guard is why it intrigues the wolf to me more. Is the moment that the wolf was tossed, it just instantly opened its wings and went around.
Yep.
And
It adapted.
Yeah.
The Rock with his famous line, "Of course the wolf flies." Because I said it as he was saying, I'm like, "Of course it flies. Why wouldn't it?"
And then of course he just says, "Of course the wolf flies."
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, there we go.
Well, I was thinking just like him. I'm thinking he going through a building and he just smoothly glided. I was like, okay.
Right past, yeah.
Just went. Shoop.
The best part I would say was when the wolf ran up the building into the other building and flew out of it.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Well, he didn't even really fly. He more glided than
Yeah.
anything. But in the movie, there's many times where they hint to the fact that these animals are adapting. So there's no saying that Ralph had those abilities when he started, but he started to find the need and he adapted. So when he says, "Of course the wolf flies," I don't think at that point when he started off, when you see him in the woods picking off the military guys,
Okay.
I don't think he had that ability. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping into Punisher's area here. I'm gonna pick on him. He knows I'm gonna pick on him. But I don't think he had that ability when he started. I don't think it was supposed to be a surprise thing. I think it was the adaptation they keep talking about, where these animals are adapting to their environment.
Nice perspective, Doris. Yeah, that's a really that's something to think about because I didn't think about that. So, but I
And there's
sure
no
was like
say-
The Rock.
There's no saying where they would have gone had they been allowed to survive.
I would have loved to see Lizzie start breathing fire.
Oh no, I was actually expecting that for some reason.
Freaking
I was expecting like a
atomic breath,
fireball to come out of her
entire
mouth.
city. Then we'd be Godzilla territory. Like, there's Godzilla.
Doris, it's your turn to talk to us about your favorite kaiju in this film, and all the three kaijus that we saw in this film. Talk to us a little bit about what you like from them, their personalities, how they were acting, how they were thinking, that kind of thing. So go for it.
Okay, sure. So, I mean, everybody likes George, I think. I like the fact, okay, you're looking at somebody, I'm a major animal lover. It's kind of a joke around here at my house. When I go out in the morning and I have my coffee, I deliberately get up an hour early because we have deer that come out at night. I have blue jays and squirrels that eat by hand. I'm like Snow White out here. I feed my animals. So it's like Wild Kingdom on my back porch every morning. But I hate monkeys. Now, great apes I really love. And we live in Louisville here. So we have Louisville Zoo. And we have a silverback gorilla that loves to look at cell phone pictures of gorillas. I don't know if you've seen it online or not, but I've gone and I've sat with him. And when he wants you to switch the picture, he takes his finger and he goes like this because he knows what swipe means.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So I love great
Wow.
apes. Your orangutans, your gorillas, that kind of thing. But I hate monkeys. So George is a good one. But I'm sorry, monkeys are creepy. I grew up around a zoo. My mom was a safari warden in New Jersey at Great Adventure at the safari. Punisher, you know this. At the safari at Great Adventure, the baboons, I hate them. They're creepy. They're blue-assed, creepy monkeys. Okay.
Not wrong.
So
Thank
baboons
you.
are aggressive though. Those guys.
I was 6 and 7 years old petting rhinoceros and giraffe. So I was that weird child. So George is everybody's favorite, and I liked the fact that they gave him a relationship. What did you break?
I didn't break
What now, Frank?
I dropped my bottle opener. Leave me alone.
Damn it, Frank.
I knew you was hitting that Cavassier. You're on the show.
Nah. Is that Jack Daniels?
Oh, God. Doris
I can't take painkillers, so sorry.
That's your painkiller.
Not a big deal.
So anyway, as far as the other kaiju, Ralph was amazing to me. I've already aired my piece about that one. I think he was one of the ones that they were showing the adaptations that they kept hinting at through the movie. I don't think he was hatched, born, or brought into the world with that ability. I think he adapted to it. I love the way he just keeps the wolf instinct, kill or be killed. Wolves usually travel in packs, and because he was the only one of his kind that you saw, he was lone, although they led to believe there was other ones. He took the kill or be killed attitude. That's why he was as vicious as he was with, I ain't taking your crap, I'm just going to eat you.
Yeah.
But I go along with the fact that I love Lizzie the best. I love coming out of the river. You kind of out of sight, out of mind. You forget Lizzie exists. She does have that Godzilla kaiju river coming out of the water kind of look.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, even though it was based on a crocodile, it kind of reminded me of a mutated mosasaur.
Oh,
Yes.
that's true, actually. That's a good point.
So
That's a good point.
yeah, so it kind of reminded me of a mosasaur, and then I immediately went into like dinosaur instinct mode, and I'm like, that's why you're doing that. So
yeah.
I thought of her less of a crocodile and more of a mosasaur that adapted to land.
Yeah, from Jurassic World.
Exactly.
Doris, I am really loving your perspective tonight. You bringing a lot of good perspective.
I show up like this many
Say-
times.
You
Say,
show
Don,
up, you show up and
mind
show
if I-
out.
Yeah. Mind if I ask you a question real quick, Don?
Yes, sir.
To Doris, actually, you mentioned like the sign language. Did you get any of the vibes of the movie Congo from the 90s? Did you ever see that film?
Oh God.
I've watched it. I would have to watch it again to pick up on what you're saying, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they had the gorilla that they spoke with through sign language. They created a robotic arm piece. That,
Yes.
Oh, I know it's
That was
total.
so dumb.
It's so total pseudoscience. Yes.
Oh yeah.
But-
I
Let's
hate
see.
that.
Well, most people think it's like a heavy metal thing, but on the occasions that I can get on this podcast, what's the one way I sign off, guys? What's the last thing I do before I sign off? Come on, you guys know this.
Sign language?
I
Heavy metal.
What does that mean?
Peace.
don't know.
I think
doesn't it mean love
Nick
you?
Adam,
Rock on.
it's I love you in sign language.
My girlfriend,
Okay.
my girlfriend says it to me every night before we go to sleep.
This is I love you
She
in
does.
sign
She does
language.
this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
she does this every
That's
night.
I love you.
I thought it
Yeah,
was like
so-
Van Halen or
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
That when they were.
No, that is
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that advanced.
This is an I, this is an L, and then it would O V. So you get it. So you're incorporating many letters. I love you.
Okay.
So when they're doing this, it's "I love you, man." You know, it's not a rock and roll thing; it's sign language.
Look at
Gotcha.
that. Doris bringing in knowledge. Look at that, people.
Yeah, see, we have to do because my daughter's autistic, so we take her to her autism classes 2 times a week.
Okay.
So me and my wife have to do sign language with her. She's just now learning how to say little words, but so we have to do it. And I miss a lot of the therapy sessions because I work. So my wife is off during the weekdays, so she normally takes her. So now my little girl can do all done when she's done. And that's really, really cool. Or when she says more, and I think she knows how to say it, so she just want more and more. I'm like, look, you getting over now. I done gave you way too much food.
Look,
but
it's
it's really cool.
Or like
It is
if if someone holds the door open for you at a grocery store or something like that, you can with your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Doris, thank you, Doris. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
When our kids were little, milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know where that comes from.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I have no clue.
But you know, some things
now we're demonetized. Way to go.
But no, some things are just they are what they are.
I know.
Okay. Great. I'm actually enjoying this conversation. I love that everybody's having great interactions. You okay, Doris? You okay?
Sorry, I can't
okay.
breathe.
No, you good.
You're all right. But I just wanted to say, Adrian, Nick, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Doris, DJ.
Sorry,
Remy.
I can't be as often as I want to be.
Thank you, Frank.
I was waiting for that one.
DJ, so talk to me a little bit about your favorite scene or scenes in this film that you enjoyed.
I like the opening with George when we first meet him. Like they make him come across as real aggressive, and and you're not really sure, what to expect and everything because he kind of shoulder blocks the other gorilla. And it's
they
like,
give him
okay,
his animal instincts.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then him and Rock are talking about it, and he's like, hey, he's just like you. He's alone. You got to, he's young. You got to watch out for him and stuff. And you can see that he acknowledges it and understands it. And then, yeah, like just kind of just how everything played out towards the end with, the big city clash and everything. Getting to see them running through the city and tearing up the buildings and stuff as they're making their way to the Sears Tower to tear that up. And yeah, just so.
I definitely enjoyed the scene in Chicago, the destruction. Right now, and I was like, okay, I see why they call it Rampage because they really tore Chicago up. Right, you got Ralph jumping, snatching helicopters out of the air. I mean, Ralph was really, really aggressive in this film. Like he was super aggressive, and I loved it. I mean, it's like he had an ultra instinct that kicked in, like Doris was saying, a killer be killed mentality. He was really, really aggressive. And then I forgot about Lizzie. They did a great job disguising her. And then when I seen her flip that boat, I was like, oh man. And when she got out and I saw how big she was, like she was she's bigger than both of them.
Yeah.
Tough as nails. I love the design of her. I definitely love that scene. I love the other scene where George ate that lady and Brett took off running. I was Brett. I'm like, bro, I got to get out of here. Look, I love you, sis. Yeah. I mean, he took off like he was gone. And that one character did grow on me, though. The guy that had captured The Rock and Dr. Caldwell, he grew on me towards the end. Yeah, I like.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know his name. I forgot his name, but I know what you're talking about.
It was a lot, like you said, DJ, the first
Cowboy.
interaction. Yeah,
Agent Harvey.
Agent
Oh,
Harvey.
okay, Agent Harvey. Yeah, he really grew.
Just like
he grew on me
leaning
towards
like
the end.
this. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Mr. Coy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, how many times are you gonna lean, dude? He's like leaning out of the frame. Mr. Koye, how you doing?
Yeah.
And,
Well, I think it was. I think he was hamming it up because he was around that time that he was doing the Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's right.
And
And he
that
had
was
that
kind of-
voice. Yeah, he had that mannerism.
Yeah, but like my first introduction of him was Supernatural, so that
Oh,
was
really?
like, yeah, he was the main character's father.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually
So-
haven't seen Supernatural, so I don't really know.
Well, you're only like 15 seasons behind, so.
Oh, okay.
You can catch up on that over the weekend.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Oh, yeah, sure.
It starts to jump the shark in about season 4, so.
No.
Oh man.
It really
Remy,
goes full blown later on.
Are you
Remy, talk-
taking selfies?
What are you doing?
He's doing selfies.
Right.
Hold on, wait.
I know that-
Let's get this right.
Wait,
My
I saw
phone,
that.
when I get notifications, it flashes because when I drive at night and someone texts me, my girlfriend, I don't know when she texts me, so it flashed it, so it gives me a notification like that.
Frank?
Yeah.
I give my friend
no,
a seizure half the time doing that.
no texting and driving.
I don't text and drive. I just call her. I call her immediately. Like the moment I see a message, I call.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Good,
Right,
good
yeah.
brothers don't let
Text.
brothers text and drive.
One thing to do. Never text. Oh, look at that message right there.
I'll cover it.
Yeah, I saw that too, Dora. I was like, when he's snapping it up on the podcast.
I know. I was like, what are you doing? Damn it,
Notice he
Frank.
changed his name and now it's Frank.
Yeah.
All right, Remy, what about your favorite scene or scenes in this film? What were some of your favorite scenes from Rampage?
I had a lot of favorite scenes in this movie. One of my favorite scenes is probably, I don't know, every scene that involves the agent, because I just love him. I just love the way he talks and stuff like that. I just love the way he like leans over the entire time when he's talking to everybody and just he just talks to people. He's like, "Well, you know, us cowboys, we just can't."
He's got that Clint Eastwood about him.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool breeze.
And I love how he shows up too. He's like, "Damn, son, did you just run down all those flights of stairs?" Well, I was the man.
Yeah, I really like that interaction too when he
Yeah.
convinces the guy to run out the door to his own death.
Oh yeah, he got squished. And he's like, "Damn, that was a lot." He just leaves. But my favorite scene overall is like the entire end finale with just the monsters going on a rampage like they should. Because like that movie, I'm like, all right, where's the rampage at? And we finally get it. And I'm like, yes, this is what I came here for. I wanted to see some citywide destruction, and I got that. We got freaking George and Ralph grabbing the helicopters, throwing them around, grabbing the tanks and stuff like that. We got George punching into a Dave & Buster's and ripping the roof off.
Boy,
I was like, what? Dave & Buster's. Which is funny though.
We got
Yeah,
some
they-
buildings in Louisville that really need to take down. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you ever want to
Well,
make
it's funny
it
because- Funny because I don't know why they put Dave & Buster's in, because at the time of the movie's release at Dave & Buster's, they had a game of Rampage that
Yep,
was
they sure
based
did.
on the movie
Yep.
at there.
It's
So it was
called
like,
a selfless plug.
yeah, so it was advertisement. It's like, look, Dave & Buster's getting destroyed. But I also really like that part where Lizzie jumped and like grabbed that plane and like threw it into the building. That was really cool. And then
Yeah,
the final fight between them, I thought was really well done.
that was great.
It was, because to be honest, it's like one of the more brutal and like violent fights I've seen in a PG-13 kaiju movie. And to me, this is amazing how this movie is PG-13 sometimes. I'm like, my God, like some of the stuff they like get through the rating system, I'm like, wow, okay, sure. Like, honestly, this movie could have been rated R if it wanted to. But I really like the way the final battle went, where you have Ralph is the one that's taken out first. Although I feel like it would have been a little cooler if like maybe Ralph kind of tag teamed Lizzie and they both started taking.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a tag team.
Yeah, that would have been cool. And I did like the
Yeah.
way George took out Lizzie by like jumping up and like stabbing her. Right.
Yeah.
That was cool. I really like that. So yeah, mainly it's just the final act of the movie, the third act, the finale is my favorite scene overall in the movie.
Yeah, it was some great, scenes in this film, and like I said, I really enjoyed the film. Adrian, my man, talk to us about some of your favorite scenes from this film, brother.
Like kind of like Remy and DJ already said, not the final fight, but when everybody's rampaging the city.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, playing the game. I mean, that's what you did. You destroyed the city. So being able to see that live action and not quite Godzilla-sized kaiju, but like smaller, but I can still cause destruction to the city type kaiju, I thought it was really nice. And they actually did a really good job. It looked really good when he was doing it. Of course, the I guess the antagonist's sister got eaten up. Thank God. I was too happy about that.
Yeah,
I hated that.
Oh shucks.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh,
she died.
damn, what a shame.
I shouldn't be rooting for people to get eaten, but I mean, I root for Godzilla and Godzilla movies, so that should tell you all my mindset on
Well, I mean,
that. But yeah,
She
the city
deserved
destruction
it.
scene was absolutely awesome to me. That was probably my favorite.
what about you, Punisher?
What about you, Frank?
If we're acknowledging me as Punisher, just acknowledge my name is Frank.
What do you, Frank? What do you think of the movie, Frank?
I thought the movie was very fucking awesome. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Pardon my
Okay,
French.
well,
Pardon my French.
Okay.
It was.
if we have to go there,
The
I
fa-
do Daredevil, so I kick your ass.
Well, that's because you're blind and you do that whole
Sensory.
that whole sensor. Let me hit the
Location.
floor and know where you at.
I
While you
know
do that,
this.
I'll just pull the trigger and see what
No, but
happens.
no, what I meant to say was, Frank, what did you think of the? What was your favorite scenes in this movie?
Honestly, the funniest scene I liked was when he's like, "Of course, the wolf flies."
Yeah,
Yeah,
But the
that
best
was funny.
part is when the wolf was picking off the military one by one as they were still huddled up
Yeah.
together,
oh
That
yeah,
was awesome.
that was
and
like
then just
a horror movie scene.
flying towards the chopper, and he just yelled out "incoming." And then you had George and the wolf taking out everybody in the city.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then Lizzie decided to pop in and is like, I'm here to cause havoc also.
the
Let's
new
do this.
challenger has approached.
Pick your new fighter. Here's your new fighter.
Lizzie
Finish
joins
him.
the fight.
A
Bad
new starter has been added to the game.
It's like when you plug
challenger.
in another controller, a new player added.
I would have loved to see the humans just like, wait, what? I love that scene too. They like all look at the screen, everybody's faces just goes, oh shit. Like they're just, oh, there's one more. Oh yeah, no, we're dead. The general was like, I want all forces on that thing now.
Wow.
Honestly,
No!
he said, I want
The other
everything
two.
directed that direction now, which was pretty smart because Lizzie took a lot of hits. If you want
Oh
to get
yeah,
real,
Yeah.
nothing was hurting her.
Lizzie had an armored back. She had everything to take. I was waiting for her to breathe fire, though. I was waiting
I
for
was
that
waiting for that
moment.
too. I was like, watch, gonna shoot freaking Shin Godzilla atomic breath soon.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, in the game, the only way that they spit fire was by eating somebody with a flamethrower. So
That would have been cool.
What's wrong with that?
Cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Oh god! Start shooting fire everywhere.
I'm telling you, if all those kaiju had a chance to adapt, part 2.
Yes.
I mean, maybe. I would like to see a Rampage too.
Honestly, I would too. I would love to
Did
see
you guys
Rampage.
see? Okay, did any of you guys see the drop that they're doing a Kong v Godzilla?
Oh, when it's coming out in like 2 years that I
Yeah,
gotta
2
wait.
years.
Oh yeah, the movie. Oh yeah.
So what?
Yes,
you
you
know,
would.
it's worth it.
Yeah,
We
it
always
is.
know the new Godzilla
Yeah.
movies are worth it.
We'll see.
The
Maybe it's
worth it.
worth it.
Wait, I gotta get this. Worth it.
I'm gonna get picked up for this.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
you are.
Yes.
I'm from Jersey. I can pick on
Urge
you.
is
I
not
am
here right
right.
now, so I don't get to
Nice.
get picked on right now.
Doris has the best
Oh.
excuse though.
That's true.
Oh my gosh!
I
All
was
right,
born and
Doris,
raised there. I know all your secrets.
She know all the secrets, Nick.
What
All the
about you,
seasons.
Doris? What's your favorite scene or scenes?
The entry where George seems like a typical gorilla, and then you start to see him develop into something that's more. When he silverbacks on the other one and he has to explain he's friend, he's family.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. And he's doing it all in sign language. That's when you get your first dose of the communication between The Rock's character and George, where he's telling George, he's family. He's family. Don't do this. He's a good guy. That's where you start to see the development in the relationship. I loved that scene. And then, yeah, everybody's favorite scene at the very end. Everybody loves the final battle scene, but I just watching Lizzie come out of the water. If I have to narrow it down, I love the wolf picking everybody off. I mean, that's almost like a sub movie where I would love to see them take them, almost like a Predator alien movie where they had like a whole bunch of them that just kill everybody off. That'd be great. I would go see that movie.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is really.
I would love to see like they adapted Jurassic Park where I don't want to say they tamed the raptors, but he got them to understand. Could you imagine something along the lines of where they had a pack of those wolves in a military situation, in a sci-fi situation?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a movie, man. Come on, Remy, you and I were good at these scripts.
Wait, Doris, talk about the same like type of mutation that Ralph was. If they had like an army of those things. Oh no,
not an army, just 5 or 6, like the trained raptors.
That would be a good horror movie, really. They released them just like and now they're like the way we control them has shut down. Now they're just they can do whatever they want.
They all have the same body style, but each one has an adaptation.
Yeah,
of what they're best at. One is good at gliding. One
can camouflage.
Yeah, okay,
one can breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Why not?
Those are
one
the best
can shoot lasers from its eye.
No,
Let's
what is that for? That's a typical classic thing. A giant monster shooting lasers out of his eyes.
Okay, fine. It
They're on
can
fire.
It can shoot lasers from its butt. How does that sound?
Remy, we still have to finish our manuscript.
That's right. We gotta start.
We gotta work on our manuscript.
Yeah. Manda is also one.
Manda is gonna be like the all-knowing sensei of all the monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Even Godzilla's gonna look to him as like a mentor. He's like, he's
gonna be the guru.
Exactly.
Oh man, this is awesome. This is super duper awesome. We have Doris. This is why we miss you. We missed the interaction with you and Remy coming up with all
guys.
the diabolical ideas.
I told you life is chaotic, poetic chaotic right now.
Yeah. Wasn't that just life in general? Isn't life just chaotic?
Yes.
No, it's. I'm gonna say nothing more after this. Put it this way. If you've seen it on a talk show, it's been my life for the last month and a half. It's just, I'm supposed to be leaving for Disney in 9 days. And I just had surgery yesterday and I'm sick and my immunities are down. I will crawl to Orlando if I have to, if it's the last thing I do, which it very well may be.
What?
Are you doing selfies
no,
again?
Remy. That's all. Yeah, but I'm snapping it up. We got 2 more questions and then we'll close.
DJ, we're done. We're done. One thing. Would you want to do like the last couple of questions I have for that game we did last time?
Let me see where we at. Yeah,
because the game would be short. Because remember last time we did like half of them, so like we just leave the other half.
Yeah, we get to these 2 questions, then we can definitely we can definitely do it.
All right.
Let's see. All right, so DJ, talk to me about the relationship between The Rock and George. How did you feel about their relationship from the beginning of the movie, and do you think it evolved towards the end of the movie?
I thought, it felt very genuine. Like they spent a lot of time together, and had that camaraderie. Um, I don't think that much really changed with regards to their relationship by the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They were both still, teaming up with each other, still joking around with each other and everything. So maybe they had a little bit more respect for each other, going through that final fight with Lizzie and everything. But I mean, overall, I think those were, their relationship
Bless you,
stayed
Angel.
pretty much the same.
Thank you.
So,
Bless you, Adrian.
Thank you.
That caught me off guard. Yeah, I agree with you. I really enjoyed their relationship, especially at the beginning of the film, where The Rock is telling him to stay calm, is everything is going to be okay, and even from how they piggyback off each other, they're able to joke with each other, they're able to show that they have each other's back, and they also able to be compassionate all in one conversation. So it just shows you how tight their bond is, and that's what really make this film. And Adrian, you even mentioned it, like him just being that. Well, all of you have mentioned it. This albino gorilla, it fit his personality better, I thought, because it's not a traditional gorilla we'll see in any other films, and not biting from King Kong or anything like that. So I thought that was cool and unique too. What about you, Remy? How did you feel about the relationship between The Rock and George in this film?
I really like the relationship between the two of them because to me, like their friendship in the movie, like seemed very genuine and seemed very heartfelt with how much they like kind of cared for each other, especially during the final fight, with how much George was like willing to put his life on the line to save Okoye. Like when Lizzie's tails about to come down on him, and George is like intercepts it, like putting himself between there. I really like that scene because it shows that George is willing to sacrifice himself so that his friend can still live. And I like that every single like throughout the final battle, they were just helping each other. Like as soon as George would do something to help Davis Okoye would do something to help him, then vice versa. So like it showed like a good kinship between them. And I did like the ending too, where you did see The Rock start to break down when he thought that George was dead. That's like the further express like how much they saw each other as like not just as friends but as like brothers, maybe as like a family.
Yeah.
So it was like a relief to him, especially when he like woke up and flipped him off and stuff like that. So and, like they fist bumped
Yeah,
each
that
other
was cool.
like the giant form, which I thought was funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed it seeing like and to me it was actually really believable the way that even though George is CGI, you're still able to like convince the audience that he is a real character.
Mm-hmm.
CGI on him and the motion capture work on him is just amazing. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
really
did a great job.
yeah.
That was a great answer, Remy. What about you, Adrian? How did you feel about the relationship with The Rock and George in this film?
I liked it a lot, actually. I mean, like Nick kind of brought up earlier, kind of had like a Congo vibe to it, but I guess in a more advanced way, the way they did it,
Say hi.
because like Remy said earlier, you really felt the relationship between
Hello.
What's happening, man?
you really felt the relationship between George and Davis in that movie. They had a really good, strong kinship between each other, and species overcame the love for each other, even though he did enjoy really flicking them off all the time,
Yeah.
and made a kind of obscene gesture
And that's it.
But their relationship was great. I love that's probably one of the things I liked a lot about the movie as well. Their relationship.
Yeah, me too. What about you, Frank? Talk to me a little bit about the relationship between The Rock and George. What did you like about their relationship? How did you feel about their relationship in this?
Well,
film?
see, they killed my family, so now I have to go out and kill them. Oh God.
Oh my God, Dick.
That's not The Rock.
That's not The Rock. The man said, "Yeah, they shot at us. They missed. I shot at them. I didn't miss."
Yeah.
That's Vin Diesel. It's about family.
Red flag.
Family.
He killed my
Vin
family.
You put up a
Diesel.
red flag.
It's about
man.
family.
So,
Yeah.
I'm like, stop.
But in all seriousness, they're I'm gonna say it, their family. It was very strong. Like their connection was strong. But I understand because The Rock saved him from when he was a baby, as he was watching his mother get butchered. Thank God they didn't show that scene because I would have probably just shut the movie off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to see that.
No.
Oh.
Poachers
But
are evil.
in all seriousness, I think their connection was very strong. Watching The Rock do the whole sign language and everything with, George. And this is what got me. Because that's all he said. He kept doing this. And then he said, you got to protect. So I was like, I like this a lot. It's very emotional.
For those that know, hedge of protection.
I need to practice that. My fingers are terrible.
Okay.
Hedge of protection around. Protect.
Okay.
Family.
Protect family. Nick?
Or in Frank, it's family.
Family.
It's that Jersey. It's the family.
The family. Now I gotta go kill George and The Rock. They're killing the family.
I'm making an offer.
Say it. You gotta say it. You gotta say it with God. With God's in your mouth. It's about family.
Oh my goodness.
Look how they massacred my boy.
What you don't know about the family.
You just don't know about
Oh my God.
Forget about it.
Oh,
Forget
man.
about it.
Oh God.
This is awesome. Doris, talk to us about the relationship between The Rock and George in this film. What did you like about the relationship in this film?
Okay, don't make me go deep. I'll try to keep it brief. So, the relationship itself, there are rare occasions in life where you get to be connected with someone other than a human. It might be a pet dog. It might be a horse. It might be this. It might be that. It's different for everybody. He had a relationship that he probably didn't expect. I like that they did that he never expected to be part of this gorilla's family. Now, again, being so close to Louisville Zoo, when you go to Louisville Zoo, we have a very well-known gorilla exhibit. And as you walk through the exhibit, you learn about the horrors that some of the lowland gorillas have to go through. They literally slaughter them. The poachers cut off their hands and sell their hands. It's morbid, and they have them covered up. So it says, don't lift it, adult content, and you see their parts and stuff like that. They're slaughtered. So for him to have this relationship with George, I think they portrayed it excellently, because he probably never expected to go into this relationship with the gorilla, but now that he has it, it's unbreakable. For some people, you hear about trainers that bond with dolphins and whales. For some people, they have a dog that they can't live without. But when you bond with something that is not a human, you're never going to break that. And I know this is getting all deep and stuff, but for somebody that's worked with animals before, it's different because you learn to speak a whole new language. You and I are speaking English right now, or we can speak sign language and communicate. When you communicate with an animal and you connect with that animal and you have a relationship with that animal, you'll go to your death for that animal because it's something that no one else is going to be able to understand. And that's like service animals, especially canine in the military and stuff like that. Their handlers and their canine units have a connection that there isn't another person on the planet Earth that's ever going to understand that. So for somebody that knows that, because I've worked with animal husbandry before, they did it very, very well, where he steps in and tells George, no, this is family, protect. No, he's a good guy. Yes, good guy. And he's doing the interpretation. He's putting himself in a very dangerous situation because they're animals. But he knows that if anybody's going to do this, he's going to be able to do it. So, yeah, I know this is probably like way up here, but they did an excellent job at it. They did it exactly how an animal handler would have done it.
Well, I will say, Doris, you are kicking butt tonight. That's for sure. That was an awesome answer. Yeah, that was really, really awesome. But yeah, this was my first time seeing the film, so the review is fresh for me. And I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed this film, and I enjoyed discussing this film with you guys. And so now this part of the show, I'm going to turn it over to Remy and let him do his gaming magic. So Remy, it's on you, my brother.
All right, let's begin. So, as you guys remember, we have a game here called Guess That Kaiju. This time I changed it up and made it Guess That Kaiju Film. So now it's more film centered, film focused. Godzilla Train was
Frick,
here
I gotta think.
Yeah, you gotta use your brain now, Doris. Have fun. But so
Peace out, Rabbit.
No, you're staying here. Stay. No, stay. So we already did like a little bit of half of them so far, so we're gonna do like the last half. So yeah, we'll begin. The rules are simple. The person who gets like the most, and we'll split up. I'm trying to think if we should split it up into teams. Kind of like odd number though. So we'll just do single player. So the person who gets the most answers correct or most questions correct is the winner. So let's start with this question first. This kaiju film's screenplay was written in 1956. One plot point of the film was to have Godzilla fall in love with a giant mech. What film am I speaking of?
I don't know, but it sounds like it's gonna be trash.
That was my what? No?
I said that movie sounded like it was gonna be garbage. I don't want to see that.
Well,
pass.
Geez. Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't know that one either. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna guess that it was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Mothra.
Mothra. A giant mech, though. Is Mothra a mech?
I don't know. You want to see a Mothra mech?
That'd be cool. I'd be down for Mecha Mothra.
Yeah, it's called an F-22 Raptor.
Oh, there you go. What about you, Frank? Anything?
Mr. Castle is thinking.
Yes. Very deeply.
Yeah, go ahead and say it in the chat, brother. I mean, what you gonna say it on live?
What happened? Is he on the phone right now? Oh.
No, I'm good. I'm right here.
Okay.
I don't know that one. Remember, I got to pass on that. That's a really good question. I'm curious to hear the answer.
So the answer is Bride of Godzilla. And the funny thing is, this was actually this was a canceled Toho project years ago. That's why.
God.
But they were gonna have the story was that there was a scientist who creates like a giant mecha version or robot version of his dead daughter that ends up fighting Anguirus and kills him. And Godzilla meets this giant mech woman and actually falls in love with her. And the movie ends with the mech leading Godzilla into a cave and detonates a nuclear explosion or something like that and blows him up.
Didn't they do
Right.
that in Bugs
Well
Bunny?
That's why that
Yeah.
didn't come out. Trash.
Because it was garbage. It made no sense. That's why they didn't put it out. They're like, what is this?
Didn't they do that in Bugs Bunny? They made the mechanical bunny. And it
Yeah,
just-
they did.
There you go then. They based it off of that. It just went, that's an idea right there.
But the thing is, though, is they did use
Somebody
aspects
got
of
it,
that
though.
in the Godzilla movies.
Wait, what'd you say?
It looks
They
like
did use
somebody got
aspects.
that answered.
Yeah, Bryson got it.
But I was just saying that they did use aspects of that in the Terror
Good job,
Mechagodzilla,
Bronson.
That's true.
because the daughter
yeah.
was like a cyborg.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, DJ's
So-
right. They might have, yeah. I think they might have used some influence from it.
Yeah.
But next question.
Man, stop it, man.
But like,
Next-
it seems like you guys were wrong.
yeah, come on, Remy. Yes.
What? You don't want to keep talking about Bride of Godzilla?
Nah. Next.
All right. Fine. All right, next
Does
question.
okay, tell me anybody else sees a Godzilla with like a white stripe down the back of its head. Tell me, please.
God.
Okay, so you do. Okay.
Ah. All right, here, next question. This kaiju film was released 6 years prior to Godzilla 2014. It is known for its unique style of being filmed from a person's POV. Which kaiju film am I referring to?
There was a
Cloverfield.
kaiju film that was a POV.
Yeah, from a human perspective.
Point of view.
Yeah,
I know
point
what point of view is. There is.
Well, I had
Yeah.
to.
from the human's perspective.
Well, I don't know if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Oh my God.
Stop
What's the
being
matter,
such a
you, eh?
fanook, all right?
Jersey's known for its brawn, not its brains.
We got some brains out here.
All right, what about some answers? You got
I
any?
said
yet?
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield for you,
That's
Adrian?
what I said
Yeah.
as well.
I think Cloverfield's the only one that I know that was a POV.
All right, then.
And
What
that's the.
about you, Don?
I have nothing, Remy.
Okay. What about you, Doris?
I'll have another drink.
Okay, then. So the
Yeah,
answer to
I
this
would
question
join you, Dory.
is Cloverfield. So Adrian, DJ, and Frank, you guys got it correct.
And
And
Bryson got it
Bryson.
right as well.
There you go.
He's doing-
There you go,
he's-
Bryson.
So he's 2 for 0 right now. He's doing great.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
he's doing great.
2 for 0. Wait, he got. Wait,
Yeah, he got the
Bryson
last
Johnson?
one.
They got the
Yeah.
last one right too.
Yeah, he got the
Okay,
last one
well, there you
right
go,
too.
Bryson. I didn't even know that. Okay, next question. This kaiju film was based off a. I can't believe I forgot about this question. This kaiju film was based off a classic arcade game. It starred Dwayne Johnson as the main lead. Wow.
Rampage.
I wonder.
What is
I-
Rampage?
This is as bad as when you put the answer in the picture.
Rampage.
I think at this point we all know the answer, so we
Yeah.
all get a point.
Battleship!
Yeah.
Battleship!
Was it in Battleship? Rampage. Incorrect.
Battleship!
I'll give Doris the point because we already went over the damn movie. Okay, so everybody's now. So we got
I'm not tired. I only
Bryson's
got
still
one.
in lead. Adrian, DJ, and Frank are right behind him. So is Don, and so is Doris. Let's go to the next one. This kaiju film was a fan-made project. The main selling point was that Godzilla was going to face off against a classic Universal horror monster. Which kaiju film am I referring to?
Godzilla versus the werewolf, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Anybody else?
I got
My
nothing.
ears are pricked in curiosity.
Okay. Nothing? How about you, Don? Anything?
Nothing.
All right. Well, Adrian, you got it right.
Yes.
It was Godzilla versus
Hey,
the Wolf.
man, let go, boy.
There you go, Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Godzilla versus the Wolfman. That was a fan-made project, and if you look on YouTube, you guys can actually find some footage of it that was made, some test footage that was made, and it
It's quite
actually
interesting,
includes the suit.
actually.
Yeah, and the Wolfman's huge in that movie actually, and they included the suit from King Kong versus Godzilla from the '60s as the suit in that movie.
King Goji.
I'll
Yeah,
check
King
that
Goji.
out.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good actually. It would have been cooler if they made an actual movie, but stuff happens. But last question. This film was the beginning to a Godzilla trilogy. Much of its height was built up around it being Godzilla's first fully animated movie. Which kaiju film am I referring to?
Oh, Jesus, for all the animated movie names. Oh my god.
The only one that I could think of is Godzilla Earth, but I'm not
Man,
sure
that
if
was
that's even the
trash.
right name.
It was trash. Godzilla.
Whatever the Netflix
Planet something.
movie was.
Yeah.
Planet Eater?
Planet
No,
Eater.
Planet Eater. Yeah, Planet Eater. I'm going Planet Eater.
I'm saying
Get
Planet
it.
Eater.
Okay.
That
That's
was
the only
Star Trek.
No, there's a movie called Godzilla the Planet Eater.
one.
And King Ghidorah was the Planet Eater, apparently.
Both of them are
Um,
garbage.
What about you, DJ?
Ask Brian. Apparently, he knows.
I said
I'm going Planet Eater.
Godzilla Earth, but like I said, I'm
Okay, what about you, Frank?
I don't know, honestly.
All right. Well,
Bryson
the
got
answer. Well, you guys got the answer incorrect. It's actually Godzilla Planet of the Monsters. Planet Eater.
Oh,
is-
Bryson got that
Bryson
too.
got it.
Yeah, you got
Bryson
that
got
one.
that?
He's the
So there you go
winner.
then. Bryson, you are the
Bryson
winner
got
of
that
this
one. He
game.
won.
Bryson.
Well done, Bryson. Round of applause to you, sir.
Yeah, Bryson.
Way to go.
Bryson.
Nice.
Bryson. That's a good win. All right, Remy. I'm coming back. I'm getting revenge. Next week, I'm going undefeated. I'm
Bring
getting
it.
them all right. I'm going undefeated.
All right. I got to work
I'm going
on it.
undefeated.
Yeah, I think of new questions.
Doors.
Okay, so since Bryson is like super genius, like on this, I just have to ask. This is where I'm going to interject, Don, and ask, Brian, what area of the country are you from? If you could answer that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you from, sir?
I mean, you don't have to be specific because I know that's like creeper zone, but I just have to know.
Don, who's next to pick? Me, right?
I don't know.
Because Don already picked this one, so
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
pick
normally
this
after
one.
Don.
Remy picked the last
Oh, so
one.
am I, Bryson. I'm in Texas too.
Oh, Texas, nice.
Oh,
Texas.
so you know about the chop and screw then? Yeah, you know about the chop and screw then. Yeah.
Okay, so what was his name? I have never met him. Now, forgive me, guys. I'm supposed to be on here every week, and I'm not because, like I said, life is like we.
It's okay, Doris. Half of us meet a while.
Yeah, you're good, Doris.
No, but I'm putting this in here, Bryson. Excuse me, Bryson. I'm putting this in here, and I want to reach out to the other Nick. He had mentioned another fest that everybody knows. I'm going to take a selfless plug on this, only because I'm going to be working it. If you haven't heard about it already, All Monsters Attack Expo is going to be in Indianapolis in September. Please look it up. They have a huge Japanese cast coming. And I'm putting that out there. I'm going to be there. I'm just hoping to see at least one familiar face while I work it. And when he mentioned G-Fest, he's in that area. I'm hoping that at some point he's going to be like, hey, I can go to that. But that's another one to look into. If you've not been to one, All Monsters Attack Expo in Indianapolis, September. Please try to be there. It's the first year. It's the inaugural year. We are all G fans, but I've been watching their celeb roster, and they have been adding a lot of Star Wars on there, especially from like the Kenobi series and the Mando series. So this is building huge. So when I'm not helping, I'm going to be trying not to fangirl over here. Yeah, it's just I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and I'm like, ooh.
I've never watched Star Wars.
Ooh. So no, but I'm kind of hoping to see one familiar face when I'm there. So that's why I'm asking where you're from. Because if somebody walks up and goes, hey, I'm so-and-so, I was on the podcast, I'm going to be like, oh my God. So that's why I was asking. Thank you anyway. Okay, I'm done.
No, you're welcome. That's all you got for us, Doris?
Because these guys, they can't.
No.
But we're planning next year. What are we
Next
doing,
year,
guys?
yes. We're
Next
gonna be
year,
in
yes.
G-Fest.
Next year, yes.
What's next year?
G
G
Fest.
Fest. We're gonna be at the G Fest.
We got G Fest next year, all of us.
And my
Yes.
mom's coming. She already.
Oh, I
told
can't
me.
wait to meet your mom, Doc.
Oh,
You
God.
don't even know.
Yeah, she's coming.
We're gonna be like leaving you boys to go to yourself, and we're gonna be like,
We will be
Adios.
While you do that,
indeed.
me and Serge are going to the bar.
and me and Don's mom are gonna be the entertainment at some
Yeah.
point.
Oh yeah, she definitely gonna do some entertaining. Oh, that's bad. You and my mom. Oh
It's
Don,
gonna
what
be
have you
ugly.
done? Terrible combination. What have you made?
man. Oh, jeez.
You doomed us all. No.
Oh my gosh.
God.
All right, so I'm in a dilemma. I don't know who turn it is to pick. I know Serge picked last week, and DJ picked the week before Serge. So we're swinging back
You
full
picked-
circle.
It's normally
So-
me and then Remy because Remy's
So
after
it's
me.
Fra-
Or is
it'll be
Remy
Frank.
before me?
well, it'll be Frank then Doris because
And I'm unreliable, so I
You wanna
get
give it to
that.
Remy?
So Nick, go for it. If you don't have your pick right
Um,
now, you don't have to do it now. You can always message it to us and we'll go from there.
I'll message it to you because I don't know what I want to. You know what? Let's bring back an oldie. Let's do a theory.
Q.
Q.
You want to do a theory?
Yeah, let's bring it
That's a
back.
coatl.
Q the serpent.
And you know what? Just to bring Doris in, a theory about Amanda.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There we go. What's the theory about Manda though? Anything specific?
Monsterverse, any solo movies,
Oh,
Okay.
Remy.
And
Remy,
video games.
Let's go.
Oh, this is our
Let's
this is
go,
our
Remy.
time to shine. Boy. This is Manda.
This is our brainchild.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so this is theories on Manda.
Yeah, on what could happen
So-
if they ever bring him into the MonsterVerse.
So can we talk about how Amanda was created, where Amanda's from? We could do all.
Yeah,
okay.
we could talk about that, like a theory.
It's whatever.
All right.
That's
Okay,
Yeah,
that's-
y'all-
like, again, bring it into the MonsterVerse. Like, what would his origin be? Like, what would his role in the MonsterVerse be?
Okay,
like
well, you guys can just go on mute, and I can talk for about 3 hours on that one.
We don't know.
Me and Doris, not 3 hours ago. Or her, who knows? Maybe we might make Manda a female in this version. I don't know. We'll see.
This was
No, omniscient and non-sex.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We'll just call it.
We need
Non-sex.
that.
All right. I'm gonna
We
put
need
my
that,
thinking
boys. We
cap
need that.
on, and I'm gonna come up with a creative idea.
Damn it.
So that's what.
No.
He knows what he did. He knows what he did.
But we're the only two ones that always think like that.
Truth.
Oh my goodness!
Everybody's
Well-
sitting here, we're yakking away, and they're all like,
I'll put my thinking cap on now.
You?
No,
that's
this
what I'm
is
gonna
I
do.
gotta sit here and
That's
think
like-
too.
brain overload, man.
Oh,
Oh
man.
boy. Okay, I'm ready. Theory week next week. Thank you, Nick. Now my
Theory.
brain got to work 10 times harder.
Don, you
That's
know,
cool.
also
Okay.
Don, we forgot to do a rating of the movie.
That's
I didn't do a rating. I didn't do a rating because I was pushing for time.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I was pushing for time. So
I'll just give it a 3.
I didn't do
3 out of 5 for me, real quick. Rampage.
I'll do a 3.5.
3.5. All right. 4. We got a 4 from Frank. 3
Three
from
from-
Adrian.
Choo choo.
Three works for me.
3 works for DJ. All right. What about you, Doris? What's your rating of
Wow.
Rampage?
Bryson gave it all the way up there.
Oh wow.
Okay, so it's 1 to 10.
That's,
Yeah.
It was a 5, but I didn't know.
It was a 5, but you can do 10, I guess.
I'll actually go with. I'll give it an 8. I liked it.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. On my 10 scale, it's a 7 out of 10. On my 5 scale, it's a 3 out of 5.
All right. This was another awesome show. Doris, it was good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys, that I'm so sporadic.
It's okay.
No,
just-
it's fine. Don't worry about
We
it.
know how it is, Doris.
But
We know how it is.
Thanks to my Jersey buddy over there. I'm gonna have to make it a point. And I'm selfless. I was about to type a message, but I'll just say it because when you get to a certain age, which I am, I'm just gonna say that you don't care anymore. So Next Thursday will be my last day of work before I'm supposed to leave for Disney. And Friday the 8th is my birthday. Bitches better be telling me happy birthday. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have a birthday, Doris.
We'll be telling
Happy
you.
birthday.
Yes,
Word.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have many left, so y'all bitches better
Happy-
be happy birthday in me, okay?
Okay.
We got you, Doris. We got you.
We'll take care of you. All right, this is another awesome show. Glad to have you back, Doris. Nick, glad you could be here. Other Nick, Adam, we're glad that you was able to stop by for the time that you did. I love you guys. We'll be doing the theory next week on Manda, so that'll be coming up. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
What happened?
The host, Donald,
Was it me?
Doris,
Was it I did?
No, it was something that Doris did. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up.
Oh,
I'm Donald,
good.
by the
Doris-
way. I'm gonna wrap that. We're gonna wrap up.
No, it's not what you do. I didn't see her.
We're gonna wrap this up. We got.
You have to catch it in the replay.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we gotta
And
get out
now
of here.
we're
All
now
right.
we're fully monetized, people. So enjoy it while you can.
I'm Donald. I lost my train. I'm Donald.
I'm Nick.
Remy,
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm Frank.
DJ.
Frank, yeah.
I'm crying.
Oh my God, I didn't even see it. Now I'm mad I didn't see
We got
it.
my man Adrian.
Yeah, thank
Oh yeah, I guess that's me. I'm Doris.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you know.